Yo, what's up, everybody? This is going to be episode 67 of the Fitness Realty Podcast. We are bringing you some information about Opendoor and Zillow and a little bit about commission and how that works in the real estate world. So I know that in commission, everybody's like, oh, I don't want to hire a realtor because they take too much money. Honestly, that reason never makes sense to me, because that is the same reason if you were about to go to court, you're like, oh, I want to save money. I don't want a lawyer to represent me. Never makes any sense to me, but we are bringing some highlighted things to the commission for the real estate world so that you guys can be better educated and know your rights and understand how to negotiate to get the best amount of commission or the least amount of commission for the most amount of services that you could possibly get. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring you guys this article that I'm going to talk about right here, right now. This one's going to be the FTC takes action to stop online home buying firm Opendoor Labs from cheating potential sellers with misleading claims about its home buying services. So what Opendoor was doing is they had a lot of claims that they were making and they weren't delivering on those. So the FTC was actually protecting the consumer in eliminating some of those deceptive practices. So the FTC actually made Opendoor pay $62 million for that fine. Hopefully a lot of that goes to restitution for those consumers that got taken advantage of. Opendoor is still a company out there, though. Opendoor still claims to get the most money for home sellers in our market, and especially in Utah. They do claim that. Opendoor does own a ton of real estate that they actually bought up through the middle of like 2021, 2022. So they still have a lot of inventory. When the market kind of slowed down, though, now Opendoor has to unload some of those homes because they actually aren't making any money on those anymore. And so there are a lot of the inventory items that Opendoor is punching out. Anyway, the thing that I wanted to bring up here, though, is the FTC did step in and protect consumers from those deceptive practices and made Opendoor change a lot of those claims they were making. Now, let's move on to Zillow. I don't really have an article about Zillow, and most of that is because there's a lot of convoluted things happening with the commission structure. They happen to deal with Zillow, Keller Williams, a lot of the big name brands. The MLS actually is one of the named people on that lawsuit anyway. And a lot of that has to deal with when people talk about a 6% commission rate being fixed. That's the competition that they want to try to squash, or that's the wording they want to squash. A 6% commission is not fixed. It's always negotiable. And so I know on our channel we try to bring a lot of education to you guys, and so this is the education piece. When you're out there shopping, either a buyer or a seller, know that the commission that's on the table is always negotiable. Whether it's your best friend, hopefully you're not negotiating on them too hard, because obviously you want to pay your best friend. They're not going to do it for free. If they do it for free, then you might not get that great of service. I'm just telling you from experience that I've seen from agents on our staff. When somebody hires one of our staff members and it's a family friend or a very good friend, and our agent tends to do it for free or very low cost, a lot of times a lot of stuff gets dropped, and it's just because they have that friendly relationship. Either two things happen. One, they're not making a lot of money, so they don't really care. Or number two, since it's a friend, you're like, my friend will understand if we're a little slower, a little sloppier, not to the best of our ability. So I feel like there's a lot of weird, squishy realm there. But anyway, it is negotiable. So when somebody says, hey, I want you to list my house, and this realtor says, well, it's 6% flat, or it's 6% and that's it. Well, know that you can negotiate that. Now, if that's a really high-powered realtor, 6% is probably well worth it, because they're going to make you extra money on top of that, and they may actually sell your house for more than somebody that is not as good at their job as that person. And so you've really got to do your homework. Find out if that realtor is worth their weight in salt. Find out, right? Read their reviews. Ask somebody else that's used them. Search the internet, right? If you guys went to Google right now and searched Fitness Realty, you're going to see over 150 Google reviews on there about our services. And I love all the Google reviews. And a lot of that just showcases how we do this job, which plays into how the commission structure works for us. I love it when a buyer or a seller comes to me, though, and wants to negotiate about commission, because then it gives me a chance to educate them about the value that we bring to the table, which is amazing. We bring a lot of value to the table. Sometimes we do it for 6%. If it's a really big home, sometimes we do it for less because that commission is still wildly big, right? And there is a lot of money to be made in real estate. You guys know that. That is why there is 20,000 realtors along the Wasatch Front. There's, probably one at every Starbucks right now. Or sometimes I've thought about this. If I'm in Starbucks, I wish there was like a call. I could do like a Realtors Unite call, like a Realtors Unite. And then 3 of them would pop up, or they'd show up kind of like on Anchorman. Anyway, so I think that would just be kind of funny to see, but it does show you that there are a ton of realtors. There's going to be one for everybody. There's going to be a different type of person for everybody out there. So you really need to do your homework. Negotiate the commission. It is not set. And that is what all the lawsuits are about, is setting commission. And people think that they're getting freight trained into that. Now, one piece really fast, because I know I've said buyers and sellers get to negotiate the commission. On a buyer side, they typically don't get to negotiate as much as a seller does. And that's because the seller has already dictated what they're going to pay a buyer's agent. So somebody that's working with a buyer, that buyer's agent is already going to take whatever the sellers are going to pay out for that commission. And so there's not a lot of negotiating in this buyer's realm. There's a ton of negotiating that happens with the seller's listing, though. So anyway, Opendoor, they got to find, they've got to make sure their practices are good. Hopefully the FTC continues to protect us as consumers, because sometimes we just don't see that stuff out there. And then for Zillow, KW, and all the big name firms in the MLS, 6% is not fixed. Know and understand that you guys can negotiate that. And then for us as a whole, if you want to check out some of our Google reviews, just to check out what people are saying about us and why we charge 6% sometimes and the value that we bring, go check us out. All right. I love you guys. I love hanging out. I love bringing educational information to you guys. Thank you to the FTC for actually stepping in and protecting the consumer from Opendoor and the iBuyer realm. And thank you to everyone out there for watching us. I love you guys. We'll see you.